do I use a pawn majority in chess? Imagine having a secret weapon on the chessboard that can help you push toward victory. That weapon is a pawn majority, a simple but powerful idea that can turn the tide of a game. When you have more pawns on one side of the board than your opponent, you gain a strategic advantage. This is called a pawn majority, and it can be on the queen side or the king side. Usually, having a majority on the queen side is more helpful because it makes it easier to create a passed pawn, which is a pawn with no opposing pawns blocking its way to promotion. Using a pawn majority effectively starts with understanding how to advance your pawns without weakening your position. You want to push your pawns forward on the side where you have the extra ones, but always keep an eye on your overall structure. Avoid creating doubled or backward pawns that are hard to defend or advance. As you push your pawns, you can restrict your opponent's pieces, limiting their options and gaining more control over key squares. This can help you prepare for a breakthrough or create threats that force your opponent to react. The main goal with a pawn majority is to create a passed pawn. To do this, you gradually advance your pawns, exchanging pawns when possible until only one remains unopposed. Once you have a passed pawn, you can support it with your other pieces, like your king or a rook, to help it reach the promotion square. This can often decide the game. In the middle game, a pawn majority can give you more space and control over important areas of the board. It can also set up a minority attack, where you push a smaller number of pawns on the side, where you are weaker to distract your opponent or open lines for your pieces. During the endgame, a pawn majority becomes even more valuable because the fewer pawns you have to manage, the easier it is to push your passed pawn forward. Always keep in mind that your pawn structure matters. A pawn majority is only useful if your pawns are well placed and not weak or isolated. Watch out for your opponent's counterplay, especially if they are trying to create their own passed pawns or weaken your structure. By understanding how to use a pawn majority, you can turn a simple numerical advantage into a winning plan. It's about patience, careful planning, and knowing when to push forward or hold back. With practice, you'll see how this core concept can help you control the game and convert small advantages into big wins.